Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Nick, aka Dad, and if you've been following our channel, last week we did an unboxing of the Icon CDEV coilover system. So, let's get started. Now this is probably, in my opinion, one of the smartest coilover suspension packages you can put on a vehicle, just because it has electronically controlled valving that a brain in the vehicle will actually tell each separate coilover if it needs to get a little bit harder or a little bit softer. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You can drive in comfort to the trail, hit the trail, the coilovers will get a little bit stiffer, giving you more traction. But then when you're done the trail, get back on the road and it goes right back to a comfort setting. And you can even set those up yourself. So today we're going to get started. We're going to get putting on the CDEVs on the front of our Bronco. Well, first thing we need to do is we need to get the Bronco jacked up, get these front wheels off, and I am not sure how long this is going to take. I'm hoping that we can get this knocked out, but looking over the instructions, you just never quite know what'll happen. So we'll get this jacked up, we'll get some stands underneath it, and we'll get these tires off. All right, you can see I got my buddy James here, and we've got our Badlands jack we got up on one side, so we're on the driver's side first. We've got our jack stands underneath there just for safety reasons, but we're going to start up front, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to get the sway bar disconnected up front, which is a couple bolts there. Then we're going to get the lower bolts from the shock itself, which are down here in the lower control arm. We will get those taken out as well, and then we'll get the ones from the top taken out, and hopefully get this thing slid out and get into putting the CDEV in here. So per the instructions, we're going to disconnect the sway bar from here on the lower control arm, and it's a 6mm hex to hold the stud in, and then a 21mm wrench is what Icon says to remove that. So we're going to do that, get that out of the way, and hopefully give ourselves a little bit more room to get the Sasquatch shock out of there. All right, we've got our end link from our sway bar popped up. Make sure too, we didn't do this, and we should have, we didn't even think about it. Put a jack under here and keep this up a little bit so you don't mess up your threads when you're pushing that back through, whether it's using like a dead blow or keeping the nut on the end to push it, hit it through. So yeah, definitely want to make sure you keep this up a little bit to make that easier to pop through. Next step is to get to our actual sway bar, and we need to disconnect this piece here using an 18mm. You have nut on one side, and then it's actually a bolt going up on the other side. But looks like by Icon's instructions, just need an 18mm. Now that we've got this supported with the jacks underneath the lower control arm, instructions say to take out the bolts that are up top. We've already done an Icon spacer lift on this, so we have bolts from Icon up there. But if you have a standard Sasquatch package, which you haven't done anything to this coilover, it's going to be a 15mm nut. You got 3 of them up there to be able to take out this coilover once we take out the ones on the bottom. So let's get this removed. So we did some adjustment. We put the rear tire back on just so we could move a jack stand. We moved a jack stand up here so we could use the jack underneath the lower control arm, because what I failed to mention is we already had a 3-inch Icon spacer lift on our Sasquatch package, which made it really tough to get that extended shock out of there. So we ended up having to disconnect the upper control arm. We've got that bungee holding on to it for now, but yeah, I had to use a jack up here. So we've got it set into place. Got the hose run underneath there, which I believe is how Icon wants us to do it. And we're getting ready to install the grade 8 hardware at the top, and then we'll put the ones in the bottom. I think we're supposed to tighten the top and torque it down to, I think, around 35 foot-pounds, I believe. And the bottom, I believe, gets torqued down to 70, but they just want you to basically snug them down to begin with. Well, like anything around here in the Monkey Business Off-Road Garage, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We had the coilover in, and it just doesn't look right. Well, guys, don't be like me. Pay attention to the top. Tells me that's the driver's side. We were installing the passenger side and the driver's side, so take it out, put it back in. Okay, let's get this side done. Well, everyone, we are calling it for the night. We just finished up with getting everything taken care of on the reservoir attachment, which I will show you in the morning. but it is 9 o'clock now, and we've been on this since 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I'll have plenty to tell you on my review of installing these things. So you can see what we did on day one. We've got the coilover installed, we have the reservoir installed already, and some of the things that kind of held us up, especially on the driver's side, was not reading the instructions. So follow Icon's instructions, read them entirely. There were some things I'd missed, one being to drop the front lower control arm out of the frame. Now when you do this, a tip I have for you to make it easier to get to where you're going afterwards, because you will obviously need an alignment, is to use a paint marker, and there are 4 cams, 2 on the front and 2 on the back. Now what I mean by front and back is there's the bolt that holds in the front part of the control arm and one in the back. And on each side, both the bolt head side and nut side, you're gonna have what I call cams. And those are what they use to adjust your front end alignment. So what I would suggest is use a paint marker, go from the cam and bring it down into the frame, so you have a reference mark when you go to put them back in, so it'll get you pretty close. On the driver's side, when we did it, I didn't even know about the inside cams, so I did the outside ones, and we had, our steering wheel was tilted a little bit like this, not terrible, and I was able to drive it to the dealership, didn't have any problems. So that is one tip that I have for you. Second tip is when you're reading through this, read the instructions also on the 4-cylinder, and that's where I missed a key point on the reservoir. Now the reservoir has self-tapping bolts. Now they don't look like it because most of us are used to a self-tapping bolt or screw having that kind of a head to it that would cut through metal. This just looks like a standard bolt, so we thought we were missing some of our hardware, which we weren't. If you read in the reservoir for the 4-cylinder, it talks about the self-tapping bolts. You make a 5/16 hole. So what we did was we started with a smaller bit and worked our way up to 5/16 on the passenger side, and I used a step drill then to kind of clean them out. They were probably a hair over 5/16, but once I was able to kind of get that self-tapping bolt started, that's when I knew we were good, and it worked out great. What I ended up doing on the passenger or driver side, since I didn't really pay attention to the 4-cylinder instructions, I ended up using riv nuts. Now, hopefully they'll hold just fine. I tightened them as much as I could using our riv nut gun, but we'll see. But so far so good. I don't have anything slipping. We've driven this now probably close to a couple hundred miles. We do need to, after a little bit, go back over your torque specs, because if I remember right, your top bolts up here are around 35 foot-pounds, and then the bottom bolts for the lower control arm are around 70, 75 foot-pounds, somewhere in there. But we'll show you a little bit more about what issues we had if you don't remove your lower control arm. So right here, these bolts go from the bottom of your control arm up through, and you've got the front and back ones. Now, they're offset. You've got a longer piece up here versus back there. And if you don't take the lower control arm out, you're not gonna get these angled just right. There's an angle, and you can't move this pin. I tried my darndest to try to get this to come back out towards the outside. I couldn't get it to move. So you definitely got to remove the lower control arm for this, just to get this pin in here, this lower connecting point. It also, you do not need to remove the upper ball joint. We did, thinking it would give us more room, when in actuality we just need to remove the lower control arm. Also, it makes it super easy to slide in your whole coilover assembly with the lower control arm out as well. And then I wanted to show you also, I was talking about those plates we have back here. Let me get underneath the Bronco and show you what I was talking about there. So you can see I was talking about the hex head bolts and the button head bolts. There's that button head bolt that is below here. This is the control arm bushing and clamp that came from, it's OEM, that's Ford. They do give you new hardware, I believe. If I remember right, they gave us these hex head bolts. So the hex head bolts are talking about go back into this bracket here. But the button head, goes underneath to actually hold in that bracket. And if I remember right in the instructions, they were talking about 4 hex head bolts. Well, the button heads are what hold it all in, the base plate itself. And here's that beautiful coilover. We've got a little dirty, but as soon as we get done here, we'll take it out for a drive. I've got some railroad tracks that we'll go take a look at. See if we can get some footage of just the front coilover doing its job. Not the best scenario, but once we get all 4 on, we get the IIC on, we will take these out, stretch their legs, and take it to the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana, and see how they do. So what we'll do next is we're going to get the Bronco out to some train tracks that aren't far from here. They're a little rough, and I plan on having a camera outside the vehicle. The one on the outside hopefully will pick up the suspension itself. So let me get this wheel put back on. We'll get out there and see how these Icon CDEV coilovers do without being connected to the Icon intelligent control box. Now obviously the best testing would be off-roading. I mean, going to an off-road park, showing you what the suspension can do, but I definitely want to do that, and I'm going to do that once we get everything done. Get the front, rear, get the IIC on, and then I'm planning on making a trip out to the Badlands in Attica, Indiana, so we can get some video of it actually doing what it's supposed to do, going from highway driving to the off-road park, and see how it does. So let's get back to the garage and wrap this up. Well, I really felt like the Icons did their job on those railroad tracks. They felt softer up front, but still able to take on anything. I felt confident with them. The back end, as soon as they hit the railroad tracks, it didn't feel like there was any give. Actually felt like a hay rack. I mean, there's almost like no suspension back there, just jumps up and down, which you probably know what I'm talking about. So in my mind, they did make a difference. Now I'm really looking forward to this next install where we do the rear coilovers and again take them to those same railroad tracks. Now I don't know if I'll do a video on it then, but we'll then have a third video on wiring up all the reservoirs to the Icon intelligent control system. And then we'll definitely get out to Attica, Indiana, to the Badlands Off-Road Park to really let these things do what they were meant to do, and that's perform. We'll be able to see what a road test is out, taking the interstate all the way there, and then see how they do on the trails. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because Monk and I, we are constantly finding tips, tricks, and products that we use on our Bronco that you can use on yours. As always though, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.